All right. Pretty good. Hello and welcome everybody to Topless Topics, the channel that seeks to destigmatize female toplessness, except that as of right now, I have nowhere, once again, I have nowhere to safely upload my heinous female nipples, because the PeerTube that I was uploading to, called Trom, has been having uploading issues, and the owner of the site is working on them. But yeah, for some reason I am having issues uploading to there. Of course, Vimeo, if you didn't know, is a problem. I had used them previously in the past, and for many years I paid for the top tier premium account, $1,000 a year, and found out that apparently I was using up too much bandwidth, and so they wanted to charge me even more money per month, and I just basically said, that's extortion, fuck you. So just before you say like, try Vimeo, they're a bag of dicks. Anyway, so as you can see, I got my Handmaid's Tale outfit that I ordered through a shop on Etsy. The hat is quite good. I mean, definitely I don't have the stuff to make a hat like this. The cloak is like felt. Like, I don't know. It's a little cheap looking, and it was not cheap. It was $125. But, I mean, that's kind of on me, I guess, for not really understanding, you know. I could have asked for more details about what kind of fabric it was. I was hoping for more of like a heavy velvet kind of thing. But shape-wise, it's pretty good. I may, you know, just kind of use it as a rough pattern and make my own. I have been on a flurry of sewing lately, so got 2 shirts done in 1 month. My dream is to, assuming that VidCon doesn't get canceled this year, you know, 3rd year in a row, I think it'd be really cool to only be wearing clothes that I made myself there, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I bought this outfit because I have been struggling for a long time to find a way to not run afoul of the patriarchal, transphobic, misogynistic, overall sexist YouTube and Facebook, etc. moderators, but at the same time make a point of how fucking bullshit their rules are. And I didn't want to do it in a religiously insensitive way. That's why I didn't, you know, do like Middle Eastern stuff or whatever, because there are people that's their comfort level. That's what they feel comfortable wearing. Whereas I feel like, you know, the handmaid's cowl, ain't no handmaid choosing to be a handmaid. If you don't know the story, there's the book, there's the series. I stopped watching the series after like the 2nd season because it kept coming with more and more contrived reasons to keep the main character in Gilead, when it was like, you have all this opportunity to escape. Why the fuck do you keep going back? Oh, right, because there would be a show if you went, you know, to Canada where there's civilized people except for the truckers, probably. But anyway, and then finally I landed on the idea of the Handmaid outfit. So yeah, I've been crudely photoshopping a cowl and a cowl and a hat. Yeah, the words. And or smock, or whatever you want to call it, over my videos, over the YouTube versions of my videos, and so far haven't gotten banned for that. However, I couldn't post for a week and a half, well, for a week, and I was busy with other stuff, because literally the day after the last bullshit ban I got with, where once again triggered Trumpers false flagged my video as medical disinformation, even though it wasn't about COVID at all. Once that, I got the appeal. So what happened is they did it, I appealed, they auto-rejected the appeal. I started tweeting the fuck out of @TeamYouTube on Twitter and encouraging my followers to do the same and be like, can you please review this fucking bullshit ban where you said that it's medical disinformation and it's not even, there's like nothing about COVID or anything at all on this video. And in that one brief instance, TeamYouTube was like, oh, we fucked up, undo. Ironically, it still shows the notification that my video has been banned, so they didn't get rid of that notification. It's just, you know, a slap in the face. And like, that happened, and my followers were like, yay, you won! I'm like, no, no. This was one tiny instance where, you know, right prevailed by me basically harassing the shit out of them. And it doesn't mean that none of my other videos get banned. It doesn't mean that, my, you know, even that video that they banned is safe from getting banned in the future. I've had videos get banned, reinstated, banned, reinstated, banned, blah, blah. And sure enough, the day after, I uploaded the Handmaid Tale version of my interview with a kink educator and fetishist sex worker, Lil Rope Bun, And the video didn't get banned, but I got a fresh strike for linking to porn. What was the link that YouTube decided was porn? It was a link to my own website. My own website where I have the video. I have the, heinous female nipple version, which is exactly the same as the Handmaid version, just without the handmaid, placed over. Again, how do you tell the difference between non-sexual nudity and sexual nudity? If they were wearing a shirt, would you consider that porn? No, then it's not fucking porn, geniuses. Anyway, they banned a link to my own website as porn. What's interesting is further down in that same video description, I again linked to my website, but that time I was linking to an interview with a different person with NASA, who I'll get to more in a minute, who was a cis man. So the video, the link in the video description to my own website to an interview with a cis man doesn't get doesn't get banned as porn, but a link to my same website for an interview with a trans woman does get banned as porn. Yeah. But anyway, it just really sucked because, a lot has happened in the last week, and I haven't been able to do a vlog about it because the Tron uploads aren't working, and YouTube banned me. Yeah, a lot happened. You may have noticed that the world was already kind of on fire, and now it's even more on fire, both literally and figuratively. I am not a foreign policy expert, so I really don't want to, weigh in too much. I have very strong opinions. Fuck Putin. Stand with Ukraine. Ukrainians are fucking badass. I mean, look how much they are defending themselves against superior numbers. Except that Russia is just fucking bombing civilians, and they keep trying to evacuate the cities, and Russia keeps bombing them as they're trying to evacuate the city. Like, it is war crime on top of war crime. But meanwhile, we got fucking U.S. and NATO and everything be like, oh, but if we have a no-fly zone, then Putin might nuke us. Guess what? Putin's a fucking madman. He could nuke us anyway. Like, again, I'm not a foreign policy expert, and unlike a lot of people on Twitter, I'm not going to pretend that I'm on the same footing as those who do study this for a living. But yeah, just fuck Putin. Ukraine is awesome. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's a street cleaner. Timing. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. Climate change, still going on. Pandemic, still going on. I'm hesitant to even address it because, as we know, there's been numerous times where I've had YouTube videos banned as medical disinformation for not even mentioning COVID. But at the same time, it doesn't matter what's in the video, so, like, I could fucking talk about puppies and kittens and it still get banned as medical disinformation because all it takes is from my dedicated cabal of trolls and haters to false flag everything, and then down it goes. Something you guys have heard me rant about a lot. Trying not to be such a broken record. I would love to just fucking not even talk about it ever, but when it keeps fucking happening, it's a little difficult to move on from the latest fucking bullshit ban. But yeah, so I'm furious. I'm furious that, along with every other fucking idiot government agency, politician in this country, they're getting rid of all the mask mandates, when there's still 2,000 people plus dying a day, and we still have zero protection for under 5-year-olds, and not to mention, immunocompromised people. Like, it's lucky, it's a good thing that my mom already died of cancer last year, because she would for sure fucking die now if she got COVID. Because she was severely weakened and a cancer patient. But it's okay, CDC says, fucking immunocompromised people, who cares if they die? That's not, whatever. Only the strong will survive, except that, of course, there's hundreds, if not thousands of, strong people who got COVID and either died or are saddled with lifelong lung COVID. But you know what, just obviously, pretending the pandemic doesn't exist has worked so well so far. But yeah, fucking pisses me off. Washington is dropping mask mandates March 12th, and including schools. And yes, I already got an email from Link's school saying that they're dropping mask mandates. And it's infuriating because my kid is 5. There's no way I'm going to get him to still wear a mask when nobody else is. He already brought COVID home on at the end of January, and so we all went through it. Again, because we all had it in February 2020 also, so surprise, reinfection. But I remain anxious about it. One, because my kids are still having weird stuff happen, like leg pain and throwing up and stuff. Not constant, but like they'll just, for a weekend they'll throw up. For another weekend they'll have, intense leg pain, stuff like that. So that, that's fun. And also because this is something I was trying to explain to my Trumper neighbor, who is not quite as stupid as a lot of Trumpers, but who still doesn't quite get it. Every variant is different from the last. Some are very different. And a lot of previous variants, like, pro-plaguers have this idea that, like, oh, if you get COVID, you're immune forever. It's like, no, it's not just, like, one disease that never changes. Like, even, that exact strain you might be well protected against, but new variants, your efficacy against them goes down and down and down. And it just infuriates me. Fuck, like, obviously Republican states didn't have fucking mask mandates and stuff that people were following in the first place, and in fact passed laws saying that private businesses couldn't have their own mask mandates because, individual rights. Sorry, there's street sweeper. Of course, right now, just had to go. Anyway, keep losing my train of thought. Thanks, street sweeper. So, that's just, so buckle up, Buttercup, it's gonna get real bad. And that's, with the BA2 Omicron variant going around, which, from my understanding, is more viral, more contagious. And, hospitals have been overrun this whole fucking time and continue to be overrun. And it's just, what the fuck, CDC? What the fuck are you thinking? Stop catering to the fucking pro-plaguers. They're gonna, let's go Darwin, they're gonna go the way that they're gonna go, but why are you throwing everyone else in danger? Just, give me a fucking vaccine for my under 5-year-old, please. Please, just, come on, let's go, FDA, let's go, CDC, come on, fucking hurry the fuck up. Well, there you go, there's a ban for medical disinformation, because I yelled at the CDC to hurry up and get me a vaccine for my under 5-year-old. Clearly medical disinformation. But yeah, it's really annoying that this week I was gagged by YouTube yet again, because I I put Aiden in daycare finally, and I'm still very conflicted about it. Again, we just had Omicron. So while he is not vaccinated yet, he got it. He's gonna get it. Everyone's gonna get it if they haven't had it already. It's just crazy contagious. And also he was driving me freaking bonkers. I love my children, both obligatorily and, genuinely love them. But I don't really have a support network here. I don't have any family that lives up here that isn't living with me. I mean, my dad lives with me, and he cannot handle the kids at all. And, Matthew's gone at work all day. I have not had the opportunity to make any friends since we moved up here. Certainly not any friends that I, am going to, ask to take my kids away. And it's just been really fucking hard trying to get anything done when my 3-year-old is home with me all the time. Demanding snacks and getting into trouble, and, I'm trying to record a video and he runs in butt naked because my kids hate wearing clothes. And it's just and the temper tantrum, oh my god, he is full on threenager, just having just wonderful temper tantrums, fucking over, he has this thing where if you do something for him, he gets really angry about it. He'll decide he wants to get crackers out of the cabinet, and if I get the crackers instead of letting him get them, he'll have a fucking meltdown. Big emotions. He's a little kid. When you're a 3-year-old, everything is the end of the world. I get it. I'm not blaming him for being 3. It's just really, really on our nerves. Really nerves. And at the same time, yes, I feel shitty for being so privileged that I can spend some of my dead mom's life insurance on daycare. For at least a few months, but the hope is that, with him in daycare, my hat keeps falling down. I mean, of course, it's more, YouTube appropriate if I completely hide my face, you know. Oh, here we go, YouTube. There, I can't see an inch of flesh. Are we good? Are we good, patriarchy? We good? Fucking. Yeah. Anyway, so he's been in daycare, and it's been really weird. It's been very weird because I have basically never had... I've rarely been away from my kids more than like 3 hours max for like a grocery trip, with Matthew watching the kids and me like being like, oh shit, I gotta get home before he's in a bad mood from having to watch the kids too long. And I have never been home with the kids gone more than like an hour, and even that's extremely rare. And so just having them both gone for 5 hours a day is just it's annoying because I have to drive Aiden to daycare. There's no bus for it. So, you know, I still have to drive there and back. And I picked a place that's not super close. I mean, it's only like a 10-minute drive there and 10 minutes back or whatever. There's a closer place that my son went to when Aiden was born. We put Link in daycare for 3 months just to kind of give me a little bit of time to take care of the newborn. And I hated that daycare because they were weirdly like they couldn't wear a shirt with like a Batman face on it or anything like that because they'll think they're superheroes and act out thinking that they're superheroes, and like just a lot of bullshit. And like every time I'd go to pick him up from daycare, I would have like little mini like anxiety attacks because it was like, what are they going to yell at me about today? So didn't go there. But yeah, he's been in it for 1 week, and it's just been a big adjustment. I like every day that, you know, he's at daycare and Link's at school, I feel like I'm like on a timer and I'm like, I gotta get everything done today. Like, it's so weird for me to think this is Monday through Friday, you know, for however many months I can pay for it, or until, you know, we get another huge surge and all of it gets shut down. But it's just, I'm trying to get like so much done today, and it feels like my to-do list is so big, and, you know, I've got all the Topless Topics stuff, and I've got to take care of the kids, I've got to do all the household stuff, I got to take care of all my mom's shit, like, I have to do my taxes for me, and for my mom and dad, because my dad is useless, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, I don't know how to do that shit, I don't know how to do taxes, I don't know how to do complicated taxes, so I'm just, you know, freaking out a little bit, bug. But, you know, there's things to be happy about, I guess. It's really hard not to be thinking about, you know, getting nuked, and Ukraine getting fucked over, and Syria getting fucked over, and you know, climate change, and the pandemic, and just like wealth inequality. Like, there's so much evil and wrong in the world, and I struggle with feeling like me trying to step away from that is like me being a selfish piece of shit, where it's like, oh, that's happening to other people, it doesn't affect me. First of all, climate change, pandemic, you know, all that stuff is directly affecting me. And like, there's so many people that are just like, oh, I don't do politics, which I've ranted about before, that I feel like I have to care for me and for them. Like, I have to, but I know that's not very realistic. I was reading an article the other day that was like talking about the difference between being informed and being engaged, and it's basically like knowing what's going on in Ukraine every 3 seconds, you know, every 5 minutes or whatever, like, is that actually helping anything? And also, being informed is not, you know, there's Twitter activism where it's like, oh, I retweeted stand with Ukraine, therefore I'm an activist. It's like, no. I do think it's part of it. I think raising awareness is part of it, but I don't think that tweeting a hashtag is really helping anything. And, you know, it's better to spend that energy doing something that actually does help, like, I don't know, raising money for Ukraine or whatever. And yeah, you know, doomscrolling, as they call it. I'm really trying not to look at Twitter right before bed, because that's the worst thing. It's like I sit there and I think about like nuclear annihilation, because Putin is a fucking crazy person with 400 or with 4,000 plus nukes, and, you know, just anyway. But yes, for as long as it's safe, here's some things to be glad about, trepidatiously glad about. So far, VidCon has not been canceled. We'll see how things go when California drops all its mask mandates and, you know, all that stuff. But assuming that that's still happening, I've been looking up the VidCon Featured Creators list and trying to watch videos from everyone on there. I've gone through about like 2/3 of the list now, where I've watched like at least 30 seconds of one video of each person. I actually was doing that while I live streamed a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't playing the sound. I basically had it playing in the background on a TV that was like mostly off screen, so people could kind of get the gist of what was going on, but I didn't play the sound because I don't want to get in copyright trouble. One thing I noticed is a lot of these vlogs have like copyright music in them and millions of views, and I'm just like, did they pay for usage, or is it just a standard, the rules don't apply to them because they're famous kind of thing? I am definitely a curmudgeonly old lady, because a great amount of those videos that are really popular, whatever, to me, to my old ass eyes, are just already rich, attractive teenagers just being teenagers. And I guess I understand why that would be popular, in the sense that, you know, people want to feel like they're in on the scene and everything like that. And if you're a poor and or ugly and or, you know, friendless kid in high school who doesn't have a support network at school in real life, watching these videos of these rich, attractive, popular teenagers kind of makes you feel like you're part of the group, even though they have no idea who you are and you've never talked to them. Everyone, there's this whole parasocial relationship phenomenon that's always gone on, but is even bigger now. And it would be great if VidCon had some kind of panels about that kind of stuff, not just, you know, should you move to LA, and asking these rich young hot teenagers what their favorite cereals are and fucking fluffy bullshit like that. But we'll see. There were a couple of people on that list actually that that weren't rich, young, attractive teenagers. One of them I've actually heard of before, Imani. I can't remember her last name, but she's a black disabled activist who mostly does Twitter stuff, and I guess she does some TikTok. I don't watch TikTok. TikTok is just like, I don't like short form content, because it's like, then I have to keep, you know, what I usually do is I'll have a video playing on the side while I'm working on something over here, and with TikTok I have to like, next video, like, fuck that. But anyway, she's a Twitter activist, which I was just shitting on, but I think, you know, she's actually standing for something. She's not just like passively retweeting somebody else. She's actually like putting her thoughts and experiences behind her messages. But anyway, she was one of the featured creators, which is interesting, because she's definitely not a young, you know, able-bodied teenager from Hollywood Hills. So that gave me some hope. There's another one who is a nurse, and then her partner is a doctor, and they've been doing like pandemic information. Not the most, I mean, she still kind of gives off that rich young teenager vibe. But yeah, there were like two others that I kind of liked, and I'm blanking on who they were. But one that I just watched a couple of videos of yesterday is this younger gay guy who does skincare advice. And I have you know, he actually said this in one of his videos, which I thought was amazing, where he was like talking about before he got into skincare routines, he kind of thought of it as just this like thing that rich old ladies do, and that he got into or whatever. And he does videos on like affordable skincare stuff, not just this like top shelf $80 per bottle, it has to be kept cold shit. And I would like to have nice skin. I have a lot of acne scarring from when I was younger, and I still occasionally get acne, and I do the best I can, you know, like I'll go and I'll get drugstore face wash or whatever. But don't know if you noticed, but capitalism is unreliable. Reviews mean nothing, because they will just pay people to say nice things about their products. So, you know, as an uninformed person, it's really hard to figure out like a good skincare routine. And so I appreciate his videos. He seems genuine. I mean, I'm very suspicious about everyone, but he's critiquing other skincare people who are like shilling products or whatever. So I'm hoping that that's maybe a little bit of a sign that he's not a total shill. I could easily be wrong. I mean, that's why they call them influencers. But yeah, so watching his videos kind of inspired me to try again, and see if I can establish more of a skincare routine. I'm conflicted about it because, and I was talking about this on Twitter the other day, but it's a lot easier to be body positive about other people than it is about yourself. I think I actually did a vlog about that. I don't remember, previous ban. Like, I can watch other people's videos where it's all about, like, being big and loving yourself, whatever. Like, that's, right on. But then myself, I look at my little mommy pouch, because I had 2 fucking kids and we're in a pandemic, etc. And I'm like, I have to hide it. And it's hard because I know that I'm being judged. And online, with my videos and stuff, it's easy to be fiery about people that I'm diametrically opposed to, like fuck anti-vaxxers, fuck Trumpers, I don't give a shit if they're mad. Stay mad, cope. But when it's just people, I hesitate to say my peers, but, people that I would possibly otherwise respect, not respect, but, I don't know, whatever. It's harder to deal with it. And that also extends to acne and stuff like that, where I'm just like kind of self-conscious. And like thinking about VidCon, I don't shave my arms or legs for the most part. I think it's pointless and stupid, and just like, why are women expected to have, be hairless except for their head, whereas men can be as hairy. Men are actually considered virile if they have hair. I mean, depends on whose beauty standards you're applying to, but it's fucking bullshit. Always the cost and the inconvenience and sometimes the pain of beauty standards are applied way more to women than men. But at the same time, I'm like imagining VidCon and trying to network with people, and there's like acceptable levels of bucking the beauty standard trend. And, there's like the joke of like Hollywood ugly, where it's like frizzy hair and glasses. Oh, but man, you brush her hair and take her glasses away, so suddenly she's hot. And, I don't know. I'm just nervous about being too authentic and, not putting on tons of, well, I don't put on tons of makeup anyway, but, not putting on any makeup and not shaving my legs and just, at least moderately, letting my stomach show when I'm not, fucking super skinny, toned, whatever. And not ascribing to that, and then potentially like losing networking opportunities because I'm not, at least passingly ascribing to beauty standards. And unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I can afford to not cultivate as much favor as I can, because I love making videos. I don't love dealing with the censors. I don't really care about trolls, except that trolls have all the power when it comes to false flagging my content. I don't love that part, but I love the filming, the editing, the connecting with people, when I make videos, like vlogs and stuff like that, it's not, again, I say this a lot, but it's not that I'm like saying like, this is my opinion and you should think this way too. It's, this is my opinion, let's discuss. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Whatever. Not interested in debate me though. Debate me, bro, type shit. I don't want to get yelled at. I just want to have an actual conversation about it. Anyway, I love that. And I would love to be able to do it, not necessarily professionally, but basically I'd like to break even. And because my videos are banned outright, and when they're not banned outright, my entire channel is disabled from monetization. I don't show up in search results, stuff like that. I have to come up with other ways of making money, because in our capitalistic society, nothing is worth doing unless you make money at it. That's why domestic labor is so, disparaged, where you got idiots who don't have kids like, oh, you're so lucky you get to stay home all day. It's like, yeah, I'm not here playing video games and watching TV all day. I'm keeping the kids alive. I'm keeping the house clean. I'm doing my dad's taxes. I'm, and in addition to all that, trying to get, content creation type stuff done. But anyway, So I have to hustle. I feel really gross about it because I know that, you know, selling artistic news and stuff like that, of course, 99.9% of the people buying it are buying it to jack off, which I fucking hate. But how can we restrict ourselves against what some people might fetishize? Like, you know, doing Venus de Milo or something like that. Oh, he shouldn't do Venus de Milo because people are going to look at it and jack off to it. Like, fuck that. It's art. You know? It's art. And it just feels gross. And unfortunately, you know, of my legitimate supporters, at least the ones that I talk to a lot on Twitter and in Discord and during live streams and stuff, they're all poor. they're all like fixed income, you know, where they just can't afford to donate. Not all of them, but most of them. And I don't want to beg them for donations or whatever, because I feel like they're giving me a lot more by talking to me and supporting me and you know, making me feel like I'm not only talking at, you know, perverts and haters. So I wouldn't want them to pay a lot, you know, I wouldn't want them to have to eat ramen for a month just to pay $5 on Patreon or whatever. And I hate making money off profit. Anyway. So we're supposed to be talking about good things. So, yeah. So far, VidCon's still on. Trying not to hold my breath. Trying not to get too excited because I expect it to get canceled again. And, you know, Aiden's in daycare for now. Until we get another variant. Until he gets, you know, they close the school and everything for weeks on end. My snake ate yesterday. I'm scared to even say it. But that was I put in a mouse, you know, expecting him to ignore it like he always does. And amazingly, like 10 minutes later, I looked in and the mouse was gone. And he was moving around a lot, looking like really active. And so I put a second mouse in there. 10 minutes, that mouse was gone. I still feel like maybe the mice are like, they got tucked in. They're dead, obviously, they're frozen. But like maybe they got stuck in the substrate or something like that, because he has not eaten on his own in almost 6 months. I have been having to force feed him protein powder that the vet gave me. And it freaks me out because I'm really worried about hurting him, but I've been having to do that because the little stupid fucker is starving himself. So him finally eating is just like, seriously? He did have a fresh second shed. He shed twice in like 2 months, which was kind of surprising. And it's been a little less frigid. I wouldn't say it's warm, but it's been a little less frigid lately. So maybe he's like, oh, it's springtime, time to eat again. I don't know, but I'm expecting it to be a fluke. But you know, that's one small thing to at least this week not be freaked out about. Because like I said, I really don't like force feeding him. I'm really scared of hurting him because I have to stick a tube like way down him. And he always bleeds. The vet said that's like a defense mechanism, and basically like, you know, as long as I don't feel too much obstruction putting it in and keep him really straight, which is really hard because he's really strong for his size, he should be good. But it's still just, I'm so nervous, I don't want to hurt him or whatever. But yeah, so he ate. And the other good thing is NASA, who I mentioned. It's actually NS4A2. But whenever I look at it, my brain goes NASA. So I started calling him NASA, and he thinks it's cute, so he's fine with it. He has been really helpful in doing a lot of social engagement, media engagement, like likes, retweets, and like that, which are vital to helping other people find my content, because I am shadow banned from everywhere. So when I post, the thing came up. When I post on my own, it doesn't show up in search results or anything. I'm dependent on people following someone else and seeing it on their timeline to spread the word. And I do have to spread the word, because if I want to do this, again, to make it worth all the time and effort that I put into this, I need to figure out how to make money somehow. Plus, I do genuinely want to see a future where we don't assign anti-censorship rights based on what gender you look like. Insane, crazy thought, I know. I posted yesterday, there's another channel that I checked out through the Featured Creators thing, and it's Lord Troy, and I only watched like a music video and a half, so I don't really know what he's about, but one of the videos is like about loving yourself or whatever, I think. And in the video, he's naked except for like, you know, tighty whities basically, instead of boxers, except they're black, but you know, that style of underwear. And he's a big guy, big hairy guy, and he's like rubbing his body and stuff like that. And I don't think he's like doing it comedically. I think he's like actually trying to be like, love yourself, you know, body acceptance or whatever. But I'm just watching this video and I'm just like, because he's fucking naked he, let's be honest, has bigger breasts than me, and I'm all for body positivity. Like, that's great. I'm not saying it to shame him. I'm saying it to point out how fucking bullshit, you know, YouTube's like, oh, well, you look female, therefore you don't, you know, you're porn, but you look male, therefore you're not. And I mean, he might even like be non-binary. I don't know. I only watched the video and a half. But finding content like that makes me so mad because it's such bullshit, and yet so few people even question it. And going back to VidCon again, you know, if it doesn't get canceled when I go, like, it's going to be nerve-wracking trying to bring up the nature of my content to anyone, because I already know it's going to be like, you post porn on YouTube. Like, no, I fucking don't. That's the whole point. It's not porn. If you only see female nipples in actual pornographic situations, that's the only way you're ever going to view female nipples. If you want to get the same rights for female nipples, you have to see them in non-sexual situations. But because they're fucking banned in sexual situations, then any contact, that's the only place you can see female nipples is on porn sites. Speaking of, there's a new website that rolled out recently called Joystick TV, and it's basically Plexstorm, except hopefully better planned out so that it doesn't crash and burn like Plexstorm did. In fact, a lot of the creators on there came from Plexstorm, where basically you can have sex on the live stream, but you don't have to. And this one's also a lot more gaming focused, and I want to try it out. Ironically, when I was on Plexstorm, I tended to have more pleasant interactions with new people than I did on YouTube. YouTube didn't matter that it wasn't Topless or whatever. I would have all these random people in, just trolls, haters, gross, perverts, whatever. On Plexstorm, I think there was one time that someone joined, wanted porn. I said, I don't do that. They got pissy and, you know, whatever. Every other time, like, some of the people that I talk to a lot now actually found me on Plexstorm and, again, came on looking for porn. I said, that's not what I'm about. I'm just normalization. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. And then they became regulars, that we have, like, actual respectful conversations together. Like, amazingly, you know, you can appreciate the female body without being like, all female bodies are porn. Like, it's amazing, right? If only fucking YouTube and Facebook and everything, but fucking Facebook, you know, Zuckerberg, whatever, he's a lost cause. But YouTube, I would love YouTube to be better. Please be better, YouTube. Please, please stop being fucking pro-plager, pro-Nazi, you know, fucking bullshit while telling females, you know, female nipples are always porn, and just, yeah. All right. Anyway. This has been a long video, rambling video. I wasn't going to go into so many topics, but like I said, I haven't been able to put a video up for like a week and a half, so I have a lot of thoughts. I didn't finish the thing with NASA. So the thing is with NASA, he had a shitty job, and he no longer has that job, and the plan is for me to fly him out here while we're out for VidCon, and he's going to watch the animals and everything like that, and, you know, we have internet streaming, whatever. Like, he understands that Fenris is our dog, our 6-year-old lab, has super bad separation anxiety and will freaking fuck out if any fucking freak out. There you go. Will fucking freak out if he's alone in the house for even like 10 minutes. So he's not gonna leave him alone. Puppy, we've been putting her in a crate at night and not feeding her early in the morning. We feed her once we're all up and everything like that. And so the pooping and the peeing in the house has been a lot better. She still eats poop, and she still jumps up on the kitchen table and eats food off of there. So, still working on that. Anyway, so the plan is that I'm going to fly him out here to watch the animals and, you know, just have a person in the house while we're gone. I don't know him super well, but at least I somewhat know him, more than just hiring a random fucking person off the internet and hoping that they don't, you know, destroy the place. And because he lost his other job and I don't want him to get a new job and then not be able to come out, I am sort of hiring him as a social media manager / you know, just sort of general online assistant until after June. Again, using some of the money from my dead mom's life insurance to pay for it. I can't afford to pay him like a full living wage, so he still has to supplement it with gigs and stuff like that. But he has been super excited about it, and unfortunately I haven't really had a day yet in the limited time that Aiden's been in daycare to sit down and like specifically figure out how to delegate stuff to him. A lot of it still falls on me because I have to record and edit and upload the video, and because of issues with Trump, I'm only going to be able to do, you know, the stupid censored versions on YouTube for a while, but at least until my entire YouTube channel gets banned, which it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm just gonna get, you know, one particular day, the hive of haters is just gonna be so dedicated in falsifying all my content that YouTube's gonna be like, you know what, let's just wipe the whole account. There's no person that's been making videos for 15 years behind us. Whatever. They're not famous. Rules apply to them. Not even rules. It's like bullshit that we made up that we just decided to apply to this person in particular. Anyway, so I'm hoping that, you know, with Aiden and daycare and with NASA helping me with like some of the back end stuff, if I can learn to not be such a control freak and actually like let him take over some of that stuff, I will be able to finally make more new content. I have quite a list actually now of people to record interviews with. NASA himself has put me in contact with a lot of people because he knows a lot of like, you know, sexually diverse people, like gender diverse, sexually diverse, polyamory, kink, etc. Like Lil Ropen is a friend of his, so is Stormcloud. And so I've been having more interesting interviews with that. Not that I don't appreciate doing interviews with my predominantly cis white male, heterosexual male followers. You guys are great. It's just, it's nice to get a perspective from someone that's not a straight cis white male, because they're already overrepresented in all media. Yeah, got a bunch of that. I also really like live streaming, even though it gets really tiring trying to come up with stuff to say for like 4 hours straight. But that's kind of my justification for playing video games and working on art projects during the day instead of like doing taxes and stuff, is if I'm live streaming, it's like, I'm not being lazy, I'm making content. Plus, you know, I don't have any friends, I don't have any opportunity to go out and make friends, so it's socialization to me, you know? The people that I talk to and interact with during my live streams are friends. You are friends, you are genuinely friends, and I'm not saying that in a freaking famous content creator like, I love my fans, like you're my family. No, fuck, not like that. I don't know why I'm so, like, I was like in a good mood before I started recording this, and then just rehashing all this bullshit like made me not happy again. So yeah, here's hoping VidCon doesn't get canceled. Here's hoping we don't all fucking die of the next, you know, whatever new variants as all masking restrictions are dropped, which, you know, the freedom convoy is protesting against vaccines and mask mandates that barely existed and are not going to exist anymore anyway, while Ukrainians are getting bombed in their houses. Yeah, look forward to VidCon. Try to be as productive as possible. And hopefully get some good new content. Hopefully not feel like I have to be so angry all the time. I have happy thoughts. It's just, it's hard to be able to express them without thinking about all the fucking horrible shit also on my mind. But yeah. Alright, I'm gonna shut up. This is a really long video. Good news is, you know, no titties showing, and because it's so long, the only people who might watch it are like my dedicated, you know, like NASA followers, God, supporters, I guess supporters, because all the other ones just sound like fucking cults, are gonna watch this. So hi guys! How you doing? Alright, I'm gonna go do something actually valuable now. Trying to do something valuable and try to hustle, make some money, so that my work has value in our capitalistic society. Yeah. All right. Goodbye.